J-Dub is back at it here to give everyone my final Game of Thrones Season 3 episode review video. But before I continue with that, pretty important if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Game of Thrones, or you're just not entirely sure, then you should probably take the initiative and pay attention to the episode title, which of course I'll say, and I'll put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further, just to stay away from any potential spoilers. This will be Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode number 10, the season finale of Season 3. The title of this episode is called Mhysa. This will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. Of course, last week, or last time I was here with the Game of Thrones stuff, it was the Reigns of Castamere, one of the craziest episodes in Game of Thrones, and now this is the finale of Season 3. Tyrion learns of the Stark murders and warns Tywin that the Northerners will never forget his role in that. Now, Tywin asserts his authority over Joffrey and actually orders Joffrey to go to bed. Interesting. And orders Tyrion again to impregnate Sansa for the good of the family. He also belittles his son, Tyrion, by saying that he was lucky not to be drowned at birth, because that's what he wanted to do. Meanwhile, Varys offers Shae a sack of diamonds to sail away from King's Landing, but she refuses and says if Tyrion wants her to leave, he needs to say so himself. Jaime finally arrives in King's Landing with Brienne and visits Cersei, and that's all we get of that, surprisingly enough. The Stark army, of course, is massacred, and Robb's mutilated corpses essentially paraded through the camp. Lord Frey now is in charge of Riverrun, and Roose Bolton is now the Warden of the North. They discussed the recent events, and Roose reveals that the Blackfish, which I mentioned in the last episode, our last review video, he escaped. Nearby, Arya and the Hound pass a group of Frey soldiers who are boasting about the desecration, and then Arya then suddenly knifes one of the soldiers, and the Hound slays the rest and said, if you're going to do that, tell me about it beforehand. But that was pretty awesome, actually. Don't fuck with Arya. Well, don't fuck with the Hound either. Theon begs for death, and his torturer is revealed as Ramsay Snow, Roose Bolton's bastard son. Sam and Bran's parties meet, and Sam realizes that Bran is Jon's brother because of ghosts. Because of he's seen ghosts enough, and he recognizes a direwolf. Sam warns them and gives them dragon glass weapons and guides them to the passage north. At Castle Black, Sam and Gilly meet Maester Aemon, who sends 44 ravens with messages warning the south of the northern threat. Ygritte confronts Jon while Jon is washing his wounds. He confesses his love for her, but she says she knew he was infiltrator all along. She shoots him with the arrow 3 times, but Jon is still on his horse, wounded. He escapes on his horse and returns back to Castle Black. Balon Greyjoy receives a letter from Ramsay demanding the Ironborns withdraw from the north, along with a box containing Theon's penis. Yes. Balon refuses to negotiate, but Yara takes 50 Ironborn to rescue him. So Yara is stepping up, and Balon Greyjoy is just a fool, in my opinion. Stannis Baratheon informs Davos of Robb Stark's death and Melisandre's plan to sacrifice Gendry. Davos helps Gendry escape, and Stannis orders his execution, but Davos protests, presenting Maester Aemon's letter. Melisandre tells Stannis that only he can save the North from the White Walkers, and he will actually need Davos' help. So that's a little surprising. And then the episode ends with at Yunkai, the freed slave population hail and adore Daenerys Targaryen as their Mhysa, which essentially means mother, and that's how the episode and this season end for Game of Thrones. So, well, in rewatching this season, I realized that it's actually a really good season. In my initial watchings of this season, which I think I've seen it 2 or 3 times, I never put Season 3 very high, but it has a lot of great episodes, not just the Reigns of Castamere. A lot of exciting stuff happens. I'm going to do a re-ranking of the seasons. It's going to be tough to find out what is where, but this season is definitely better than I remember it, and it shows. So as far as this episode goes, it definitely wasn't as good as the last particular episode. I mean, that was crazy in itself. and I see higher scores for it. I'm going to give it an 8.8 out of 10. I thought it was good, but for a season finale, it could have been a little bit better. Of course, the last episode was perfect in my opinion. I mean, it's sad, but perfect. And then the character of the episode, I mean, I could go eeny, meeny, mighty, mo. I thought about giving it to Melisandre. She didn't really have a huge role. Stannis, he didn't really have a lot of time in the episode. It kind of focuses on everybody, so everybody doesn't have a lot of time. Arya was pretty awesome, but I'm going to give it to Tywin, because Tywin is the one responsible for what is known as the Red Wedding. So Tywin Lannister is the character of the episode. So you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, even if you didn't like the last couple seasons, go ahead and smash that like button. If you know anybody that would be interested in this review, go ahead and share the video with them. Sound off in the comment section about your thoughts on the episode, your score, any opinions that you have, or if you want to talk about your favorite characters or your favorite episodes from Game of Thrones or least favorite, that's fine. Just make sure you put that in the comment section. Of course, last but certainly not least, we need to grow this channel. Don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. I thank you, and JDev will return.